3, I'll be reviewing this movie, The Woman King, starring Viola Davis, John Boyega, Lashana Lynch, and this movie is directed by Gina Prince by the Woods. So when this movie came out, which is last year, and this movie was quite controversial. So I have never seen the trailer, but I have I did the covers for this movie with the box office. So when I was doing the covers, many people told me this movie, it is like, I guess this movie, for some reason, it's really offended some of the people on Twitter, and some people really didn't like this movie. So I had really low expectation watching this movie. I was like, oh, but at the same time, I was really excited to see this movie because this movie, it is starring one of my favorite actors, Viola Davis. And what do I think about this movie? First of all, I'm really surprised how actually this movie is actually quite good. Like when you watch it, this movie, although the trailer promises a lot of action happening, well, this movie isn't very action-packed as it seems from the trailer, but this movie is kind of like a drama slash, like it does have a lot of training montage for this young like woman warrior. So it is kind of like, that kind of movie, I guess, and it takes place in 1800 in Africa, and I really like all the production design for this movie. I thought they looked really good. However, the costume, sometimes I felt like it didn't look like it was in 1800. That is the only thing about this movie. Often the costume didn't feel like, costume felt very modern. That one said this movie didn't feel that modern. However, the production design, the fight scene, some of the fight scenes, the way it was done, it was actually good. That doesn't mean it has tons of fight. Like I saw some people are like the commenting on this movie. I guess a lot of people saw the trailer. They thought this movie is really action-packed, like non-stop action happening. But it isn't. It is kind of like a drama slash thriller. It's kind of thriller because this movie, it does have a lot of twist and turn, which you don't see it coming. And some of the twist was really surprising. I was like, huh, how did that happen? Overall, this movie was actually really good watch for me. And it is actually very beautifully directed from Gina Prince by the Wood, who directed The Old Guard. So I didn't thought she did amazing job in Old Guard. But I thought surprisingly, she was really good directing this movie. Especially, of course, this movie centerpiece is the acting. All the acting in this movie is absolutely amazing. Of course, Viola Davis, she is so good in this movie. Saying Viola Davis is good in any movies is like saying, like, I don't know, the sun rising every day. But she is really good, and she do deserve that Oscar nomination for Best Actress. Although she wasn't, like, this movie, it is about this woman warrior group, like they are in this tribe in Dahmani in that tribe, but she isn't center of the story, I guess, but she is their leader, and this woman warrior, she's their leader, so she isn't center of this movie. But however, this actress is center of this movie. Her name is Naui in this movie. Her name is Tasso Mbedu, and she is so beautiful, first of all. At the same time, she is really good in this movie too. Like the way her character developed throughout the movie, I really liked it. At first, she was like, her story is also very sad. I was like, whoa. Especially when you see her dad basically sold her off in this movie, and you're like, huh. I thought all the acting is really good, but Lashana Lynch, she was really very charming and very good. I was like, oh, Lashana Lynch can be charming and funny. How is that? Because she is always playing, she is actually very talented actress. I thought she was, I guess this is different kind of role for her, and she did a really good job. How did John Boyega do? So the John Boyega, at first I was like it took him little time to settle in this movie, I guess. At first he was like kind of like, that's how his character supposed to be, but he doesn't grab your attention right away, because the way his character is kind of like this king, like this young king, and also the other actress, she's from Black Panther, I'm forgetting her name. She was okay in this movie. She played kind of like, I felt like same character she plays in Black Panther. What is her name? Shayla Etin. Her character, she plays same character in Black Panther. She was kind of felt like similar, yeah. But of course, the center of this movie, I thought Viola Davis was absolutely amazing. The guy who played the villain, he was actually good too. He looked really scary to me. I was really scared of him. Uh, all these actors are really good in this movie. So, however, this movie story is quite like as it goes on, it's really very like some of the story it is sad, and when you watch it, you are like, oh, but same time it is very female empowering movie. Is that's why some of these guys got mad at this movie? It's possible, I guess. I think the biggest reason for this movie, like I thought it's gonna make some good amount of money at the box office. But I think some people really felt offended by this movie because this the story they were telling here. They're saying it's not the real truth here they're telling. So I think that is the reason. I think, but then again, it is just a movie, although it is based on that tribe. Uh, but still they need to tell their own story, and that is what they did here, and somehow people got offended by it, and this movie, I think many people boycotted. This movie it deserved to be seen by more people because it's actually good movie overall. It is maybe because I'm a woman, it was kind of like a woman-centered story. That is why I liked. Is that means all the men out there gonna like this movie? Maybe not, but I really liked. As I was saying, this is different kind of story, and all this black women on screen, they look so beautiful. All of them looked really good, and their skin was glowing. They looked amazing. All the acting was amazing. All the characters are amazing. I really liked. I have, as I was saying, only the costume sometimes it took me out of the time frame. Other than that, this movie was absolutely amazing. If you like this kind of story, again, it's not as action filled as it looked from the trailer, but it is worth checking if you want to watch a different kind of story. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. If you enjoyed about this review, don't share my other reviews on other movies. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.